Welcome to the Freedom CEO podcast. It's about becoming the chief decision maker over your life in order to step into a life of freedom. From business, health, wealth, charity, and giving back to just doing life on your own terms. I am your host, Shae. I am an award-winning activist, change maker, and a multifaceted impact entrepreneur with over a decade of experience in business, philanthropy, and health and wellness. In this space, I'm going to be bringing you insights, not just from me, but from incredible thought leaders around the globe to help you start making decisions towards living a life of freedom so you can live a life you love. Are you ready, guys? Because we are going all in. Hey, my friend, it is a new year, which means we get a new start. There's new energy. There's a new chapter, which means new opportunities. So kicking off this season of the podcast, I wanted to spend a little time today to make you maybe challenge you to think about your goals differently, New Year's resolutions differently, and hopefully add some gold nuggets and values so that you're going to shape up 2024 to be completely different and have it be the best year yet of your life. I'm holding that intention for myself, and my friend, I want to do the same for you. So tune in. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Click that subscribe button, and I would love for you to leave a review and a comment, especially if you find value out of today's episode. And like always, I always love your feedback. So share it with me. I will read it. Love to hear from you. Hope you enjoy this one. Happy New Year's, my friend Shae here, the host of the Freedom CEO podcast. And I am so grateful that you are tuning in today. Can you believe that we are almost done the first month of 2024? It just seems time keeps flying by. And if you don't have a goal, a vision to where you're going, don't you find that it just slips away that much easier? I wanted to start off this year. I wanted to start off the first episode in 2024 talking about the big word that you hear oftentimes around Christmas leading up into New Year's, which is, what are your New Year's resolution for the next year, right? I'm sure we've all had these discussions, and from different things of course, losing weight, making more money, whatever it is for you. And I want to share with you about why I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I feel that they're more short-sighted, and statistically, they actually don't hold up. And so I'm going to read off some and just see, maybe you set a New Year's resolution for this year and check in with yourself. See where you are. We're almost at the end of January. And statistically, 9% of people who set New Year's resolutions are the only ones that complete them. 23% quit in that first week of January. So is that you? Did you do that? Check in with yourself. And then the rest, which is 43%, they don't even make it until the end of January. And so part of my reasoning behind it and why I choose not to subscribe to New Year's resolutions is I feel that they're very short-sighted. And most people don't really know why they're setting them. They don't know what their desire is behind it, but also how does it fit into the bigger picture of the vision that you have for yourself in your life and what you are desiring? Which, my friend, this begs the question, do you know what the vision is for your life? Do you know what you want out of life? And so I want to start there before we even get into what I call like the micro details, which basically looking at the next 12 months. Of this year in 2024, let's go macro. Let's go really big. Have you ever thought about, where do you see yourself in 10 years? What does life look like for you? Where are you living? What type of house do you have? Do you own it? Are you renting? Do you have multiple properties? Do you have a business? Are you an employee? Are you still in that same position? Have you elevated up? What does your body look like? What does your health feel like in your own body? Are you married? Do you have children? Are you single? Are you thriving? What are you wearing? What do you like to do as your hobbies? Like, what does life look like in 10 years? And it should be different than what your life is right now. Part of the beauty of life, part of the opportunity that life gives us is to elevate, is to evolve. And actually the seasons, the change in the seasons, if you are in a climate like winter, spring, summer, fall, the seasons are a reminder that we all have a period, we all have a season of time, and that also does expire and dies. And it's an opportunity for us to evolve and to change. And so wherever you are right now in your life, think about where you want to be in 10 years from now. And then what would that look like as a midway point in that 5-year mark? And so I call it the 10-year vision with a 5-year plan. And then I break it down even into 3 years, because most people underestimate what they're able to achieve in a 3-year period of time, even 1 year. But really, when you have a plan and you have a focus set out for what you want to accomplish in 3 years in every way, your family, friends, lifestyle, location, health, your body, how you want to feel, how you want to be showing up in the universe, the year then becomes the roadmap to getting you closer to that 3-year plan. But if you don't know where you're going, then every day becomes basically a roll of the dice. It becomes just chance. And some day turns into another day because it is a moving target. But when you have a plan in place, you can create a work back for what you're trying to achieve. And so that for me is really what this 12-month period is all about. I want to ask you, friend, have you ever heard of the compound effect? I'm going to break it down for you. It's when we do small, repetitive decisions over a significant period of time that has astronomical effects or results far beyond what we realize could actually be possible. And so what do I mean by that? Maybe some of you listening have looked back on a photo, and weight is one of the most common indicators of the compound effect, where you look back on a photo from 5 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe even just 2 years ago, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you look at yourself in that photo and you go, how did I allow myself to get like this? How did my body put on this weight? And it's these small decisions that you don't think have a great impact. You're like, oh, it's just that extra glass of wine. It's just a smaller piece of dessert one more time. We justify and we rationale for things that we do want, and that's the human in us. But it does have a consequence. And that is the result of the compound effect, that all of a sudden you are so off track where you used to be, and you haven't even realized it until you actually look backwards. There's an amazing book by Darren Hardy. He's one of my favorite entrepreneurs, and he actually has a book called The Compound Effect, which I'll put that in the show notes. So you should definitely link up and check it out. And he makes an analogy of a plane leaving from New York City with the plan to go to Los Angeles in California. And if that plane on the radar is off just even by a smidgen, it changes the entire course and direct trajectory of that plane to end up in a completely different country like Mexico. And so just the smallest little bit that takes you off track in the end, or years later, or in this metaphor, hours later, you are in a completely different country that you did not intend to be in. And so start to think about your time that way, that if you don't have an intention and you don't know where you're going, at some point you're going to look back on life and go, how did I get myself here? I didn't think that I would be in this position, whatever that position is. And so think about that. I want you to take out a piece of paper. Maybe it's not going to be right now, but create some time and space over the next week. Find the weekend, find some quiet time to really go inward and write on paper, not on your phone. Do not type this out. Don't write this on your laptop. Type this on your laptop. Take out a piece of paper, an old-fashioned with a pen, because there is science behind this and chemistry behind this, of writing out what you want life to look like 10 years from now. And create as well a life purpose statement. What is part of your desires, part of what you're passionate about in life? How do you want to show up in life? Create a life purpose statement and then build everything else you do in life around that purpose statement. And so when you look at the year, okay, let's go down to your 1 year. You're going to spend some time. You're going to say, this is what my 10-year vision is. Then you look at what then do you need to accomplish at that halfway mark in order to achieve your 10-year vision, your 10-year plan. Breaking it down into the 12 months, you have 1 year to bring you a step closer to that halfway marker. Instead of setting New Year's resolutions, I set anchor words for the year. And some people refer to this as a focus word or a power word or a soul word. Simply for me, I call it an anchor word because it's a power word that I use to literally ground me back into the intention for the goals that I am setting for the year. And it brings me back into alignment. If I start to veer off track, I use these words to really anchor and ground me back into what I am accomplishing in this 12-month period of time. And so I thought I would share with you my words for this year. I typically only choose one, but this year is a little of a unique year for me. I've had some wild cards thrown at me over the last 6 months. And so stepping into 2024, there was a lot of stuff I'm choosing to leave behind that I wasn't carrying into this next chapter. And knowing that for me, there's a lot of challenges that are going to be ahead. I'm in growth mode. I've got some hurdles to go through. And so my power words, my anchor words that I am choosing is expand, fired up, and peace. Maybe you can get some value even just around the word fired up. I'm going to share with you a little bit of this word. Even in things that are hard or challenging, it can coexist with joy, excitement, passion, and literally being fired up. And so for me, I knew that this is going to be a year that's going to require me to say no to a lot of things and to focus, and it is going to be challenging. But I wanted to really bring in the energy and bring in the mood, bring in the vibration of being fired up, that I am looking at things going, I'm so excited for this opportunity to learn, to grow, to evolve, because that's what hard things do to us. That's what challenges do to us. If all we have is ease and flow and we're not met with the opposite, we don't have an opportunity to expand and to grow. And so as much as expand is part of my anchor word, I felt it was really important for me to mirror it or to mesh it, if you will, with the word fired up. And then above all, peace, creating that balance and that serenity and guarding your energy. There's nothing more important than guarding your peace, no matter what you're doing, and making sure that you are taking care of your heart. And anything that does not serve you, you say no to it. Anything that is taking an advantage of you or it becomes out of alignment, you say, I see you, and I choose not to give you permission to intrude in my heart space. And you take a moment, you can walk away, recenter, reset, release, whatever you need to do. And so I encourage you, as you're sitting down and creating some space and time to go through what your 10-year vision is for your life and what you want, think about this year. What's the energy you want to bring in? What is the mood you want to bring in? What do you want to be focused on? What do you want to call in more of? What do you want to magnetize into your life? Because whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you give your attention to expands. And so your thoughts being captive is so important, because your thoughts shape your feelings and your feelings shape your actions, what you decide to do. And what you decide to do is going to determine what results you get. And so think about, what are you wanting to call in? What is the mood? What is the energy? What are you trying to magnetize into your life in 2024? I'm calling in miracles in 2024. I'm declaring that as well. And as you know, expansion, fired up, peace. So I encourage you, write down some words. And that's how I also do it. I write down all kinds of words that just kind of pop up in my head. I'm like, what do I want to call in? Like I was saying to you just a second ago, write down 10 words and then sit with those and narrow it down maybe to 3 or 5 and then pull one or two that really resonate with you that you can say, yeah, this is going to be my anchor word, my grounding word for the year. Okay. Now that you've got the vision, you've got your anchor words, what goals do you need to set out for this year that are measurable, that make sense, that are fitting into your vision because you have clarity now on that? What are your goals that you want to achieve? And I'm going to break it down for you. If your goals don't scare you, your goals are not big enough. If your goals you've already achieved or things you have done before, that's not a goal, my friend. That is not a goal. You've already accomplished it. A goal should challenge you. A goal should scare you a little bit. A goal should put you outside of your comfort zone. A goal should stretch you. Ultimately, you want a goal to grow you, to do something you've never done before, to bring you into something you've never experienced before. That's your next level of evolution. That is how you evolve yourself. That's how you get to the next level. And so I encourage you, when you're thinking about your goals for this year, put down that number that scares you, that you're like, oh my God, to achieve X amount of money in my finances this year. Or maybe for you, it's calling in a partner. Maybe it's for you stepping out of a relationship actually. And that's a goal for you. And that scares you, that unknown. Whatever it is for you, it should scare you a little bit in a good way, not in a fearful way, but it should challenge you. And again, my friend, these should be goals with a plan that fit into alignment of 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now. And I want to mention this because some people get caught up on, I don't know what I want my life to be like in 10 years. And like, how can I think about that? And what if it changes? And, what if that's not what I want in 10 years? And this is what I'm writing down. And then I'm committing to that. My friend, I promise you, it most likely will change. For some people, it doesn't. But mostly, for most people, it is going to change. And why? Because as you grow, as you evolve, so do your desires, so do your wants, and so do your needs. And so it is okay if in a year from now, 3 years from now, it all changes your 10 year. This is a practice you should be doing regularly, at least once a year, and checking in with who you are in that moment of time, who you've grown to become, and going, is that still what I want life to look like in 10 years from now? I have been practicing this myself for over a decade, and I go back every year, at least almost 5 or 6 years. I went back to 2015 this year, looking at what my 10-year goals were, which were very close, right? In 2024, like I'm a year out from that, what I want life to be looking like, where I'm going to be living, the house I'm going to be in. And some of that has changed a bit. I had one of mine, for example, was I wanted to be living in California on the ocean with a house that has an ocean view. Not in California, have never moved to California, have not purchased in California, but I did purchase a home in Costa Rica that overlooks the ocean. And so there's still those desires there of mine. And this is what I want to make a point of. Oftentimes, the particulars, like California, for example, will change, may change. But the desire and the feeling to have the outcome of whatever that is, usually remains the same. So for me, why California? I wanted a place that was high vibrational. I wanted to be on the ocean. I wanted to experience the warmth all year round. I wanted to have an outdoor lifestyle community. And I still have all of that in Costa Rica. It's just my desire for that location or where I wanted to live. Over the years, as I evolved and grew, my priorities changed, and I no longer wanted to be in California, and Costa Rica became much more appealing. And so it's more important to just start casting your vision and giving yourself permission to dream, to think big, to start manifesting and focusing and visualizing on what life could be like for you and what you want to go after. And so that's what I want you to think about when you are doing your vision. Don't get caught up on, oh, what if it changes? It most likely will, my friend. And then once you have your vision, 10 years, and your 12 month, what you're then going to do is bring that to visual life. Jump on Canva. It's my favorite tool to use for creating vision boards. I'm going to put the link in the description as well. So if you've never hopped on Canva, you'll have an opportunity to go and check that out. And I literally go on the internet. I put some photos of myself as well. When you think about like, what do you want your body to look like in a year from now, your health to feel like in a year from now? Location, business, whatever it is. And I pull images on the internet. I sometimes superimpose, I put my head onto a certain body type so I can visualize being like, this is how strong I want to look, but also I want to feel. And I create it on Canva and I have it on my vision board. And then from there, I want to put it in so many different places so that this isn't a set it and forget it, create it and forget it one time. No, you want the repetition. You want to constantly visualize what you are going after, what you are wanting to achieve. And so I print it off. I put it on my mirror sometimes. I put it on my closet doors. I save it on my home screen, on my phone, sometimes even on my lock screen on my phone. On your desktop as your screensaver is another great spot. Print it off in a smaller size, put it in your purse, put it in your wallet, put it in the console of your car, different places that you are often using that you'll catch a glimpse of it, and then you take it in. You say the number that you want, you say the house that you want, the relationship that you're calling in, how you want to feel, what you want to experience, where you want to travel, who you want to do that with. Maybe it's having children or having more children, but put it on that board. Make your vision come to visual life. And I also set an alarm. Some of you guys might think this is a little cray-cray, but I have on my phone at 1:00 every single day, I have a mindful manifesting reset where I say a positive affirmation to myself, no matter what I'm doing. I take literally 15 seconds. I turn off my alarm. I say my mantra. I say my affirmation. I say my prayer. I take a big breath, and then I visualize. I look at my vision board and I soak it in, and then I continue to go on with the rest of my day. So that's another one that you could do. You want to start in the morning. If you have a routine and a gratitude practice, highly encourage you to incorporate your vision board into that morning practice so that, again, you have that repetition there to support your efforts, to support the vision that you're wanting to manifest. And then from there, we start taking daily and weekly aligned action. There are things that we can do to make that happen, right? We now have to take the action steps. So when you look at the 12 months, I always break them down into quarters, and high level, I write out the bigger milestones, like what do you want to achieve in each quarter? And then you break down the quarters into months. And every first of the month, I call it growth day. I'm a huge fan of Brendan Burchard. I've been following and incorporating some of his practices for years, and he has growth day. And on the first of every month, he takes time in his calendar to review what are the 3 or 5 things that you need to accomplish within the month to move the needle, whether it's in your personal development, in your self-care, in your health, in your business, in order to bring you that much closer to accomplishing what you are setting out to in your 12 months for that year. And then you've got your weeks and you've got your days. And every Sunday, I use Sundays as an overview for what didn't work last week, reflection, what didn't get done that needs to get carried over into the week coming. Does it need to get carried over into the week coming? Also an important question to ask. Is it effective? Did it not work for some reason? Should you change it up? Important questions to ask yourself. And then looking into the week, what are the top 3 things you need to get done? And then in the day, what are the top 3 things? There's many different successful people that will tell you to write out the 10 important things that you want to get done in a day that do need to get done. Choose the top 3, scratch out everything else, and only focus on those 3 things, because your mind starts to get overwhelmed and limiting yourself on your ability of what you really can put your energy towards and focus on. And there's always going to be more than 3 things, but pick the priority, the one that either has the most effect, key, are giving you your, what we call your key money performance indicators, right? Like your productive money activities. So things that are going to move the needle for you that you really do need to make a priority to get done in order to achieve your goals. So, my friends, we have 11 months basically left in the year. You're not too late. If you have not set out your goals and intentions for this year, if you haven't created a vision board, I really encourage you to set aside this time, invest this time in yourself rather than just wasting time and having time pass you by. Make this the year that 2024 is the year where everything changed, where you showed up for yourself, you bet on yourself, you watch the miracles show up in your life, and it becomes more beautiful, more expansive, more incredible than you ever could have dreamed or imagined, because you are creating it. You are focusing on it. And I wish that for you. And if you are listening to this and you're like, I still need more of a map, I need more guidance on this, I want to dive further into this, and maybe you're going, Shae, can you help me shape this? Because I've never done this before. Everybody has to start somewhere. As I shared, mine has started over 10 years ago, and I have refined this practice for myself in my life. And I would be happy to go through this in greater detail with you and help you really construct a plan for your life plan, and do a playbook basically with you. And if that resonates with you, if you want to hop on a Zoom call, I'd be happy to spend a few hours with you where we can workshop it out and we can literally create a vision for your life that you are wanting to call in and see. So if that resonates, send me the word vision on Instagram, DM me vision, and I will send you a calendar booking link where you can schedule a time with me. I'm also going to put it in the show notes as well. So feel free to click on that in the description below. And I really look forward to connecting with you then. And this, my friend, is going to help you become the CEO of your life, to take ownership over your decisions and really be in the driver's seat. So until next time, I look forward to seeing you. Stay golden, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning into the Freedom CEO podcast. If you got value out of today's show, I would love for you to leave a review, as it will help my show reach other people as well. You know what to do. Download this episode, click the like and subscribe button. If you feel like spreading more love, hop over to Instagram and share today's show in your stories. Remember to tag Shae Vidyata and the Freedom CEO. My DMs are always open, so drop me a line. I'd love to connect. Until next time, keep owning your decisions to live a life of freedom. Live a life you love.